Now, morning everyone. Where have you been? Yes, hospitalized again. But first off, nothing to do with cancer, thank that. Nothing to do with this side of me stomach, you know, me kind of stoma and all that. Nothing to do with that at all, but still life-threatening. So, let us tell you what the hell happened. So it's about, well, I've been in nearly a fortnight in hospital and just did not expect that again. On a Wednesday, me and Mark record for a Friday, you know, the Thank God It's Potty on the Potty Mouth channel, and we talk about like old men, like operations and all this kind of thing, and reminiscence about our operations. And then a bloody day later, I'm in there under surgery again, mask on, knocked out. So I have honestly, of late, felt great. I mean, I built that bloody bed. Yeah, I might not be able to kind of lift as many boards as I did, you know, 6 years ago or something, but I've been at the peak of me fitness there. So we went for a walk along the beach, and it was just Sunday morning. Had the chucker, me and Melanie were just kind of throwing it for the two dogs, and then we got on the beach, and I'm honestly bent down like that. I went, oh, like that, this pain come on. I was like, what the fuck's this, man? And yet, because I've been through it, you know what I mean? Normally I would like put off things, you know, like, oh, just if I get home, I'll be all right. But in the past with that, you just know it's not worth it. But it's like this thought in your head, like, oh, you've got to go through A&E, and A&E is just horrific. I mean, the last time, I think it was like 12 hours I spent in A&E, just to be sent home with some painkillers. But I says to Melanie, I'm going to go back home. I says, this is not right at all. The pain was just like, so Melanie says, well, you'll have to go. And I was like, straight away, I says, just take us. But luckily, it was a Sunday morning about 11 o'clock. So all the idiots from the night before, pissed up and drunk and everything, they had all gone. So I was in A&E about 2 hours, and literally they did a couple of tests and they were going to send us home with a packet of antibiotics. That was it. And when I got up for the last call to go and see them, you know, like, this is your diagnosis, these are your tablets, it kind of eased off the pain. And so I went in. As soon as I sat down, and I don't know if she thought I was doing it for the sake of, like, you know what I mean, I want some attention. The pain was triple what I'd felt. I could hardly get over onto the bench, and it was just a young lass, you know what I mean, a young nurse, young doctor. I think it was a young doctor. I was screaming, I swear to God, screaming. Well, she was kind of like, I'm not saying like a little bit kind of flustered, but like, Johnson, paracetamol. And then she come in with a bit of oral morphine. Well, that just didn't touch it like that. And then she went away and she says, right, we're going to take you to emergency daycare, I think it is. Now, this is a big shout out to Gary Matthewson. Gary was the nurse practitioner who was on, who luckily, thank God I'm a YouTuber, watches me channel. And is a gardener, he's got one of them. I forget the make he said his was, but you know the Shetland Island polycrub things, the solid ones. He's trying to sell to one of them. Oh man, you're jealous as anything. So Gary, seen us when I come in, writhing around, painkiller. Gary was the one that kind of can say, get something into him, get some, you know what I mean, let's get some pain in. So morphine into my arm, just eased it a little bit. I swear to God, I eased it a little bit. But it was just like writhing around. They decided to kind of keep us in, but they didn't know what it was. Do you know what I mean? So I had to go for a CT scan again. Do you know what I mean? I've had a few of them of late. I've got another one bloody couple of weeks' time. So I had to go for a CT scan. They couldn't see anything. Do you know what I mean? The CT scan wasn't showing anything up. So they were going to operate. So I've got 5 bullet holes where they've went in across my chest at the minute. So they went in and they didn't know, so they took my appendix out just on this kind of deep dive. They can look into it. they had two teams. They had the general surgery team, and they also had my like urology team. And both sets had a look inside. You know what I mean? Couldn't see anything. Do you know what I mean? Couldn't see anything at all. So they put us on antibiotics, strapped us up, put us in. Then they put us into like an isolated ward, like a room by myself, which I thought was a bit kind of strange. Just kept on giving us the antibiotics, but the pain was still there, man. The pain was unreal. And honestly, they were putting pink stuff into us, yellow stuff, morphine sulfate, I think it might have been, just wasn't touching it. One night after the operation, or maybe before, I don't know, mine's a bit confused. So I swear to God, there was this, I kind of, because you could I was pressing my button, man, and I was keeping everybody awake. I was in agony. And they'd give us everything, you know what I mean? And then this doctor had come and prescribed, I mean, it's bizarre. This nurse was like an American football player, 6'7", something like that, you know, broad as anything. Flipped me up and put this painkiller up my backside, and I swear to God, it was like your mother cuddling you. Do you know what I mean? It was just like the pain just melted away. It was unreal what this thing up my back. And the doctor came the next day and said, apparently that's how the French administer painkillers in the hospital. You know, do you know what I mean? So for a week, you know what I mean, while this pain was on, every nurse would pop us over on my stomach there, get up there. And that was the pain thing. So I kept on just getting pain relief, but they still couldn't find out what it was. But they had like some sort of, they take bloods every day, and that me infection, I had an infection, wasn't coming down. Do you know what I mean? And they were throwing all sorts of antibiotics at it, and they said, it's slowly coming. But my surgeon, who actually did who actually took us on and did the, you know, was part of the team that took it. Every day I had two bags coming out of me guts. One was called a Robinson's bag, and it just collects fluidy, gunky shit. He would never, like, well, he would talk to us, but he would always go to this little bag first and just touch it and look at it. And you could tell there was something not right. Do you know what I mean? He was just like, shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be that colour. Shouldn't be that like texture. And I think, and this was like one day, a nurse said, if your blood markers are going down tomorrow, you can go home. You know what I mean? Because I was like, all right. I was sore. I'm still a little bit sore as fuck. So I was all ready to go home. And then they said, no, they haven't come down. You know what I mean? Another day of antibiotics, and then we'll send you away. Right. But I mean, I'm in this room, which is good because it's got its own toilet. I can watch me TV, a lot of my phone and stuff like that. But you're looking at a clock, you know what I mean? And it's a bizarre feeling knowing that you've got another 24 hours in there. So it came to the next day, doctor came in and he went, yeah, your blood marker, he says, I had to be under 100. I came in with this blood marker of whatever they were measuring, over 300. I had to be under 100 to get sent home with just normal antibiotics. People out and about, you and everyone else, that marker's 5, below 5. So I must have had some sort of raging kind of infection. He says, we're going to follow a trend. You're down now to 160 odd. He said, go home because it's on a thing. 10 minutes later, the sister came into the ward and said, your surgeon, I forget his name now, Mr. Carr, wants you to stay in. He's not happy. And I knew, because like I say, he was like a dog with a chew. Do you know what I mean? He just wouldn't give up on this bag. He wants you to have, like this, I'm nearly phoning Melanie to say, come and get us. He wants you to have another CAT scan now. So I've been in about 7 days. He wants to have another CAT scan. So right. So gets wheels down, CAT scan. He comes in and he says, I know what's happened. So, and it's like, right. He says, it looks like you've had a perforated bowel, a bit of shit got into your system, excuse the French. Something's getting into your system. Whatever antibiotic we're throwing at it's just not working. He says, I've took a sample over to the chief antibiotic medical expert who has to sign off there, and this is what they call it, their big gun antibiotic. It doesn't come out because they don't. That's why they put us in this room. They didn't want this infection spreading, and where they would use up their only one. They've only got this one bullet, this silver bullet, to kill infection. And he says, what we're going to do is give you 48 hours of this antibiotic to just and apparently another doctor come in and said it's scorched earth. It just kills everything, good bugs, bad bugs, everything. It's and a surgeon cannot prescribe it. It's got to be the chief medical antibiotic guy came in and signed it off. So it's this is 4 days after, everyone doctor said I can go home, but Mr. Carr said no. So 2 days of this kind of scorched earth antibiotic, and here what they realised was it was it was some bug which wasn't a super bug, but it was a bug that's highly awkward, and none of the kind of normal antibiotics would have done the trick. And when I was going to get sent home from A&E, the antibiotics they give us, I think it was Gary said it would be like giving you a pack of polo mints to suck to treat the infection. Do you know what I mean? And it was great because I kept on asking Gary all about how they choose an antibiotic for you, and it's all done. They'll send over a sample, and the microbiologists will work out which ones are resistant to which ones, and then give you a list of which ones you can use. And it was fascinating that. So big thank you for kind of keeping us up to date. I've got Gary's number as well. If I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to use that as a golden get out of jail card free if ever I need it. So 48 hours later, nurse comes in, your bloods are fine, you're going home, and thank God. And like I say, I think I was in nearly 13 days, and I just did not, out of anywhere, think that was going to happen. 13 days in hospital again. I've missed the tomato, you know what I mean? I also wanted to grow, sow tomatoes around about the 23rd of March. Well, I've missed all that, and I've actually sown some as soon as I got back, some garnet, because I fancied this garnet. Jessie was on about them. But I'm not going to worry about it, because when I was going to visit my mum backwards and forwards, I was picking up tomato plants. So I've got tomato plants, the usual run of the mill. Ian's going to send us some down as well, some heirlooms. So I had a load of stuff sown in my greenhouse. Well, bless her, my wife's kept it all going. Do you know what I mean? I lost a couple of basil plants, but I've got all things to kind of come up. You know what I mean? So, and I've had a little look round the garden, and because I was digging it all over. Do you know what I mean? I was like, say, a bit as fuck. So I'm all right, to be honest. Hopefully this is, you know what I mean? It was just but within 2 years, two totally different, what looks that? Do you know what I mean? Life-threatening things, because they could have sent us home. One doctor kind of put it quite bluntly, we could have sent you home and you could have come back with sepsis, and he says that's a whole different kettle of fish to this kleptist whatever thingy one. So that's the way it goes at the moment. But I had the dogs out today for the first time, because Melanie's been doing it, bless her, doing everything. Do you know what I mean? And coming to visit me every day as well. So, and it's just for Melanie, to go through all that again. Do you know what I mean? It's just bugger. But hey, garlic's looking fantastic. I've got a whole lot greenhouse of stuff to come up here. Apparently it's going to be rotten cold next week or something. It's lovely now, but there's going to be cold nights, and it's been cold nights, mind you. So, but that's it, hospitalised. But I'm back on the road now, so I will see you again very soon. Look after yourself. Take good care.